Can everyone see my screen? Yep. All right. So I'm just going to do application users, open up to a new window. I'm going to fork this over to my personal GitHub. So I fork that over. It's copying it over to my personal GitHub, as you can see in the nav bar or in the URL. So Tom Preet forked app users over, forked from PT Charlie. So next, I'm going to clone this down into my local machine. There we go. So I'm going to CD up one level, clear, list everything out. I'm going to git clone that. I'm going to list everything out again. I can see the app users challenge right there. I'm going to CD into app users, clear the terminal, not node, code dash R space period. So I reloaded VS Code with app users in here. And got my README open. I've got my users.py file open. I can actually, this is a good extension if you ever want to view your README. It's called like Markdown Preview, as a VS Code extension. If you ever want to use that, I actually don't know what mine's called, but yeah. Where is it? Got a bunch of extensions in here.
I think it was the third one down when you originally searched Markdown Preview Editor because it didn't have an install option.
Oh, it did. Markdown. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Markdown Preview Enhancer or Enhanced. Thanks. So I'm just going to close the Explorer. Come over here. I'm going to zoom in. So you have the next big thing on the interres, but a thing isn't anything without users. In your application, users can sign up with all kinds of valuable information like name, email, driver's license, you name it. So write a user class that can handle the growing application's needs. So I'm going to bring that over here. So I've got my user.py file. So I can create a class user. And then I want to instantiate and pass in name, email, and driver's license number. So again, I'm going to need to use the dunder init method because this method is automatically invoked when I create a new instance. So I always have to pass in self as the very first argument in the dunder init. And now I can do name, email, and like driver license, like so. I can add other things if I want to, like date of birth, if I wanted to as well. Actually, there we go. So now I can just do self.name equals name, and then I'm going to make email, driver license, and date of birth. Whoop. Now, if I wanted to make a couple instances of this, and like user Tom, Tom at email.com, P630, whatever, and date of birth. This could either be a date, like an actual date, or just a string. I'll just use a string. And I can make multiple users. 3. Like, I'm just making up dates now. All right, so now I can print like user 1, that name, user 2, user 3, open up the terminal, and I can do Python user just to see those 3 different instances of those users. What questions do you have about this user class? Did anybody add anything else to it?
I did. I kind of just copied the display info thing that was in the
Yep, that's a good one.
repository, just so we could see. We don't have to continue to print out all the usernames. We just
You just
print out
display all their info. Yep, that's definitely a good idea. Believe it or not, let me actually show you something. So when I print out a user, I get this user object, and this isn't very helpful when I print a user object. And we'll cover this again, so don't worry about it. But this isn't very useful to the user, as in like the developer. It's like, I don't know what this stuff is. There's actually, if I do dir, and if I want to print those built-in dunder methods, I'm gonna clear the terminal. I just want to see what are here. If I look at all these, if I keep going down, I'll probably see one. I've got this one called rep or repper, and this other one called str, this dunder string. This dunder string and this dunder repr make it so that when I print this user object, like I do here, like if I do that, how it's all ugly and stuff, like this isn't very helpful as to what user object I'm interacting with. If I do def dunder str self and just return like an f string of like name self.name. If I go ahead and print this again, like I'm not even invoking it, I'm still just printing the object, the user instance. But if I do print that, this is what is actually printed in place of this user object at whatever memory location this is. So this dunder string method just essentially makes the output of this user object pretty. So that's one, just like a nice tip to know. Also, if you want it to be formatted, so if you use, we've done it with like single strings, but if you use triple strings or triple quotes, you can do name, email, date of birth. Let's just do that. Whatever is in between here, it will print out in the terminal the way it's formatted. So if I do all like this with all these spaces, when I go ahead and print that, all the spaces and everything stay the same as it is showing up here. So, and that's with the triple quotes. So you see now it's kind of like printed a little bit nicer for me to see. Anyway, any questions about the user class? So if I'm done with this, I'm going to clear the terminal and I want to submit it. So I can I can literally press get add period to add all the files that I've changed, or I can just add just individual files. But I'm pretty used to adding everything. So I get add space period. I can run get questions.
Oh, I was gonna say, don't forget to create a branch.
You could create a branch, but I'm working like it's good. It is good to get used to creating branches. So I get added everything. So I'm like, oh crap. So I'm just gonna do get status. So I added or I modified the user file, but I'm like, crap, I forgot to create a branch. So I'm gonna clear the terminal. I'm gonna do git reset. So I reset, I unstaged the user file. So that means I took it out of, so git add adds it to like a staging area. Git commit actually saves it. So I added it to the staging area. I did git reset. I took it out of the staging area. So I'm going to create a new branch, git checkout dash B. Say instructor solution. All right. So now I switch to the instructor solution branch. I do git add now or git add space period. I'm going to do git status to check the status of my git. Say, okay, changes to be committed. So I modified that user.py file, which is this one. Now I actually want to save it. So I can do git commit -m, so instructor solution. All right, so one file changed. I added 25 insertions because there's 25 lines of code right there. Now, so I saved it locally. I made a git commit. I saved it locally on my local machine, but now I need to push it up to GitHub. So now I can do git push origin, and then I'm going to do the instructor solution branch. So I'm pushing it to the instructor solution branch. If you didn't create a branch and you're just working on the master branch, that's still totally okay. You just have to git push origin master branch. So if I click that. All right, now if I come back over here, you can see right here, instructor solution had a recent push less than 1 minute ago. So I'm still on Tom Preet. Now I need to make a pull request into part-time Charlie's. So if I compare and pull, so now look, I'm at my part-time Charlie platoon app users challenge. Now it's like opening a pull request. My base repository is the part-time Charlie app users master branch, and I'm requesting to pull in Tom Preet's app users instructor solution branch. I'm requesting to pull this code into the master branch of the app users. If you had different branches, like a master branch, I can decide to pull in the master branch, but I made my changes on the instructor solution branch. So I'm going to go ahead and merge that or make a pull request on that. I could add comments, but this is the instructor solution. I see a bunch of pull requests already in here. That's great to see. Get used to making pull requests. So now you got my instructor solution branch, and we've got all these other pull requests. And this is safe to merge. Awesome. All right.